Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Monday, the 2nd of June 2025. In today's Mill news, we've got a little bit, not a lot of news, but a little bits of news. I'm going to start off with this. This was put up today by southernnews.co.uk. Confirmed Mill friendlies and match details. And this seems to be the kind of like a list that they've started that they will go back to and edit, which is interesting. So Mill have added a trip to Steve Morrison's Sutton United to their friendly schedule. Yeah, we knew that. Head of 25-26. Last season, the Youths finished 12th in the National League under the former Lions captain. Sutton have 3 former Mill players in their ranks: Harry Ransom, Aidan Muller and Nana Boateng. And that's there Tuesday, July the 29th. Also, tickets are already on sale for that one. Saturday, July the 26th, which you would imagine that should come above that, but I don't know how they're going to do it. Bromley versus Mill, 3 p.m. There is another game that's an under 21, and that is on July the 18th, something like that. And that's Maidstone. That's Saturday. That's Maidstone United versus Mill under 21s. So interesting stuff. So this looks like a list that will be added to. So interesting that they put this up today. Do they know? Do they know what's coming? Is something coming soon? Will there be something filling that white space there? Could it be a trip to Spain? I don't know. But we have now had... So, in the second week of July, you can check this out for yourself. I was going to show you, but it doesn't really matter. At the Pinotar Arena, which is where we went before, in Camp Nor, what has already been announced for the second week of July is Wigan Athletic, Stockport County, Curzon Ashton, and someone else, not sure. But... so all of those teams from the 6th of July to the 13th of July. Who has booked the third week in July? The 14th onwards. We shall find out soon enough. We shall find out. Anyway, moving on to this from southernnews.co.uk. They can't have been up on the PlayStation on Thursday night. Kevin Nugent outlines how Mill will prepare the under-21s for first-team football. Yes, Kevin Nugent outlined how Mill will prepare under-21 players for a call-up to the first team. Alex Neil has handed several academy players their debuts since being appointed Lions boss on December the 30th, including George Evans, Reece Bangor-Williams and Sheldon Kendall. Bangor-Williams made 13 appearances in all competitions after scoring on his debut in January, while George Evans played the last 4 games of the season, with Lucas Jensen and Liam Roberts both out injured, winning man of the match in the Lions' 1-0 win against Swansea City on April the 26th. Nugent thinks both fully seized the opportunity handed to them. It's interesting, isn't it? Because you say who's ready, who's not ready, and when that player gets an opportunity, they've got to be ready. They have to take that opportunity. George Evans, I believe he's taken the opportunity. Reece as well, he's taken that opportunity. And Romain, he took that opportunity when he got it. And sometimes, the opportunity isn't a smooth pathway of how it's going to go. It doesn't just go, okay, you know what, we've said he's really good, let's put him in. This is the football world all over, not just Millwall, but you get in by default sometimes. Someone picked up an injury the day before training, there isn't another position there. How's he getting on? Yeah, he's doing really well. Alright, bring him into the squad. And then that's why we try to educate the players that their life is 24/7 football. They can't have been on the PlayStation Thursday night because they could get a call up with a manager on a Friday afternoon or a Friday morning training, and they could be given their championship debut. They have to be ready to take that chance, and that's a huge part of the education process, and that's a footballing education. It's just a life education sometimes as well. We get all this and we bring into that how they work in the community. They do different stuff, so it's not just when they're with us as a scholar, it's not just football education they get. They get quite a holistic approach to it as well, and how they deal with situations where we get a lot of people coming in and giving talks, and our media staff do it as well, with how they to use social media if you're doing interviews and stuff. Yeah, getting into the first team, there's a constant update on the players. Sometimes it's a smooth pathway. Someone's built their time in, they've been a sub for 10 games, you think, you know what, he's ready to go in. Other times it's bang, you're in today. And Rahis was a little bit of, okay, right, you're in, then you've got to be ready to take that opportunity. Nugent has regular meetings with Alex Neil, Academy Director Scott Fitzgerald and Director of Football Steve Gallen, where they discuss who might be ready to make the step up to the first team. We have daily meeting, but that's generally about the logistics of training, what players will be training with us and with them, and what times they're training, and who's using the meeting room. And that's the general thing with those ones. But on a regular basis, we will meet up with Steve Gallen, with Fitz, and with the manager, and we'll be chatting about the players, and we'll say how they're looking, and what they've been looking like, and what do you think they could work on, and different ideas. And that's a constant. You're looking at probably 2 or 3 times a week, just generally. It might be over a cup of tea. It doesn't have to be a formal meeting, but it's something that the manager is well aware of. For how the players are doing. He and his staff try to get the most out of the games that we have, certainly at home, and they'll have members of staff who will watch our away games as well. So that's fantastic. He shows a real interest in our under-21s group, which is a fantastic for the football club, really. Neil has shown a willingness to trust youth, something Nugent thinks is vital to the pathway from the academy to the first team. He's absolutely key into it. If someone doesn't want to put a player in, they're not going to put him in. But he's quite relaxed about it, and how we talk about it. And he's managed for a long time now, and he's been very good. He's not phased about putting young lads in the side, which is really good from our point of view. Nugent takes pride in seeing his players progress to the first team. It's so nice when lads do, because we spend a lot of time with them, and some lads have come through the system from a really young age, and some will join a bit later, like Rahis, who comes down to your recruitment. But when they get in, it's a bit nerve-wracking sometimes when they get an opportunity. They've got to take it, and the lads, I think, they certainly did. So there you go, and that's the thing. This is what it's about, really, is developing players. Really unfortunate that we didn't progress to the semi-finals at the end of the season, and we didn't win the league again, or win the National League. But, what it's really about is progressing. And, they've certainly done that, haven't they? They certainly have done that. Talking of under-21s, one of the ones released this season, or just in this summer, has found a new club. We told you the other week, that Henry Hearn had signed for Hornchurch. We now have Millwall forward, just released, Tom Leahy, signed for Welling United. Welling United of the Isthmian Premier League, I believe. They have the National League South logo, but I believe they've just been relegated. So here we go. This is from WellingUnited.com. So Welling United are delighted to confirm the arrival of forward Tom Leahy. The 21-year-old is a product of Millwall's Academy and was called into a number of senior matchday squads before making his championship debut in a 4-3 defeat at Bristol City in 2024. The 24-25 campaign saw Leahy enjoy a loan spell with Woking in the National League, scoring 4 times and claiming 4 assists in 17 appearances before joining Maidstone United in February. He played his part in helping the Stones to the playoff final, scoring 3 times and providing 4 assists in 10 outings. Leahy now teams up with his brother Jack in arriving at Parkview Road as Lee Martin builds his squad for the 25-26 campaign. Speaking after putting pen to paper for the Wings, Leahy said, "I'm excited and I'm ready to score goals. I'm here to win games. I've never played in the same team as my brother, but you can be sure there will be chemistry there. It will definitely assist me a lot this season. I know the manager trusts me and I'm ready to deliver it for him." Discussing his latest arrival, Wings boss Martin said, "We're extremely pleased to have secured Tom's signature, particularly given the competition from other teams higher up in the pyramid that we're vying for it. He was certainly on our radar from early on, admittedly more of a hopeful aspiration though, and I'm very excited by this signing. He joins us with immense potential and is eager for an opportunity to gain continued playing time and further his development alongside us." And there you go. Isthmian Premier League next season. And, That's what you want. You want to be playing lots of games, scoring lots of goals, and then the clubs in the division above or 2 divisions above will say, hey, let's sign this guy. And that's how you go up. You don't go up by going to a club where you get a lot of money and you sit on the bench and you don't really do anything. So, good luck. Good luck there, Tom. Now, we're going to finish by looking at this. So, Richard Cawley on Twitter, X, has announced his next venture. Obviously, part of the South London press has now gone kaput, gone bust. He is doing a Substack, which you can subscribe to for £5 per month. But it's going to be a Charlton Athletic Substack. So interesting that he's gone down that route. I believe he's a Fulham fan, so he's not that he's a Charlton fan. I imagine, it's just trying to make a living, like very crowded in the Millwall space. We've already got news at Den, the Southern News, so they'll be covering Millwall from now on. We have, there's a whole host of blogs and YouTube channels. The one you're watching right now. Hello. So quite crowded in the Millwall space. I imagine for Charlton, maybe there's a bit more of a gap that you can get in there and do enough to make a living. So we'll see, but there you go. And this is it. It's now interesting. It's called South London Sport Charlton Athletic Edition. So could this be? But this is like the first salvo, and if this takes off, he might do a Millwall one or a Palace one as well. I don't know, but interesting he's called it that. That is interesting. Although maybe for search engine optimization, the name Richard Cawley in South London. Obviously, you can't use the South London Press name unless he buys it off the administrators, but there you go. So this is it. Substack, a blog, and here we go. I've been covering Charlton Athletic for a long time, and I don't want that to stop. South London Sport Charlton Athletic Edition, again, interesting title, gives me the opportunity to continue covering the club. You can also help shape the coverage. I want to write stories that cover the players or subjects that matter to you. I'm also planning to get a hold of some of the SE7 legends for longer reads. I can't promise I'll be the first with every transfer or big story to come out of SE7, but I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to get plenty of interesting tidbits first and also provide extra insight. This platform is only set to aid me in remaining independent. On top of that, there will be analysis reaction once Charlton Athletic start playing again in the Championship. The Championship, how good does it sound to say that? With 18 years under my belt covering South London football, I've got the scars to show it. It means I have plenty of contacts to tap into, stuff that isn't already in the public domain. I'm excited at the potential of the content I can provide. Hopefully you are too. I'm sure as I get further down the track there will be extra layers that I add, like pods or an audio aspect. Haha. Now they did do the South London Press pod. They were doing that. They started it. They had a bit of a break and they came back. So there you go. I might even do videos, but I've always taken a stance that my ugly mug is best for the spoken or written word. I also look to start doing a weekly Q&A or just simply hooking up on my chat section on the site. This might even be set up now. Hopefully I remember to amend it a little further down the line. We can discuss the latest 5-0 win, a new signing, or any other talking point. This is a bit like diving off the 10-metre high board, a little bit scary but also exhilarating. I'm hoping I go along there and there will be less belly flops, so how does it all work? Free subscribers. Occasionally you'll get a piece written by me, and you also get a taster of any article that I post, but you won't be able to fully read the articles, some of which I'm hoping will have some decent content running all the way through them. It's absolutely cool for anyone to roll along this way as I hopefully build things up. So basically, you can subscribe for free. Well, you don't even have to subscribe. I think you can just come on it, just bookmark it and come on it. But obviously, it's for Charlton fans. It's not for Millwall fans, unless he starts doing that as well. Again, so it's like probably one every 2 weeks or one every week, and then the better stuff, the more interesting stuff, will be £5 a month or £50 a year. I'm planning on providing at least a couple of features, interviews, analysis pieces each week, and I intend to build it up a hefty amount more than that. It'll be easier once we get into pre-season training, friendlies, and then the matches. Plus, there are going to be transfers and drama, and the one thing I don't want to do is oversell and then under-deliver. I also want to be truthful. This Substack is, in the longer term, will be supported by you. You'll get entire access to the full archives. It's only by having your backing that I can carry on providing Charlton Athletic coverage, both on this platform but also on social media. I appreciate the support more than I can ever truly say. You will not only get my latest posts delivered directly to you, but you'll also get access to the archive too. Stay up to date. Yada yada yada. Yada yada yada. So, there you go. Richard Cawley of the South London Press, which has gone bust, decided to take on a Charlton Athletic blog. Interesting. On Substack. So this is, I should tell you where it is. I don't know if you're bothered or not. South London Sport Charlton.substack.com. Now, but he did say on X, not here, but on the post after this, on X and Twitter, both same thing. He'll still be putting up stuff that he finds out about Millwall and Crystal Palace. So his Twitter feed is still going to be, posting Millwall stuff. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.